Hey, today is the 8th. Ah, and I got a little pain. Hold on. Man, that's messed up. I got a cramp in my leg. The way I was sitting. Oh my gosh. Woo. Mm. Oh, that's one thing about going live. Man. That don't feel good at all, boy. Sheesh. But the show must go on. Cramp's still there. You just sit a certain way and act like it don't hurt when it do. Man, but anyway, the other couple things we're gonna talk about today, man. Now, and this it's really going to be primarily about home shopping networks, YouTube, and authorized dealers. There'll be some other things. Talk about what do you call those? The watch events, the watch fairs, right? So yesterday, and this conversation is actually inspired by a conversation I had yesterday, and a lot of times what I do is what's going on, bro? Welcome in. A lot of times what I do is I'll have a topic that we can definitely discuss. There's always something going on around the watch world, be it the market crashing for luxury watches, and that would affect. I guess of course, it would affect those that's in that market. Flippers, of course, which based on the research I had, that bubble has burst. Some people that had bought something, they're still sitting on product, and we'll talk about that too. But let's get into the home shopping network, bro. What's going on? Welcome in, y'all. Keisha Comedy said is in the building. What's going on? How you doing today, young lady? Um, so home shopping network. I can tell you this. I covered it was actually primarily over Shop HQ, which has many names. It had many names at one point. It belonged to iMedia. And since their last bankruptcy, the new owner, which had, I can't remember his name, but he created the energy, that little energy thing, five, was it 5 hour energy? Yeah, 5 hour energy. So basically, when he took over the company, now you can't see it. It's not public. It's not a public traded company, so you can't see how good or bad they're doing. But people can guesstimate and kind of figure out what's going on based on what they're used to. And this is where we start. Let's start right here. I've talked to a number of you guys that have been collecting Invicta since the early 2000s. I'm talking about early 2000s. I'm good, bro. Praying all is well on your end as well. Hey, it's good as it's gonna be right now, sis. It is good as it's gonna be right now. You know what I'm saying? We just keep pushing it and chugging along. And I hope everything going well with you, as well as everybody that's gonna watch this. We are 3 minutes and 19 seconds into this live, and if nothing else, before you click off, I would love to know, where do you do most of your shopping at? Is it Home Shopping Network? Are you online? Do you go to Costco to buy your watches? Um, where do you get Amazon? I mean, possibilities. It's not endless, but it's a lot of stuff. I know there's places like Reddit. Reddit will give you, man, very, very detailed descriptions on where you should buy and who you should mess with as far as ADs and stuff is concerned. We're gonna talk about ADs too. But let's jump back onto Home Shopping Network. Now with the Home Shopping Network, I know you got QVC Home Shopping Network and Shop HQ. There's man, like what's crazy? I didn't know how many home shopping networks there were, because everybody that's used to Shop HQ that have purchased their Invictus there know Kendi, right? Kendi it's like she is like one of the nicest people that I have ever met, right? That's a TV personality. And she's been with that company. I just learned today that she started out in Chicago, right? She may have said this before, but I was just part of my research. Uh, TikTok shop. Man, I've been hearing TikTok shop is going crazy. I know some watch reviewers actually um bought their watches. I have to like I'm not on TikTok anymore. TikTok has kicked me off a couple times. I'll tell you why if you want to know, but yeah, I've been booted off of TikTok 3 times already. Amazon. Okay, you're an Amazon shopper. I do Amazon too. K Jewelers for most of mine except my Sujas. Okay, okay, okay. Like I used to work for K Jewelers, man. I loved working the watch section. Um, my old boss was she put me over the watches when she's like, dude, you always have a different watch on, and like they I didn't know I had no background in jewelry, but the watches, oh, I was loving that, man. But anyway, let's get back to the home shopping network. I'll double back to that. Um, of course, tell us watch. All right. So the first time I got kicked off of TikTok was because of the crate challenge. I said I said something along the lines of you people will allow anybody to trick you into doing something to kill yourself or to get famous at at what peril. I said I said something to that effect. And I said keep being stupid and doing these challenges. Next you'll be in here assassinating your children like just to get famous or something like that. And they said I was bullying, and I rebutted it, and they was like, no, and it wasn't even the assassination of the children comment. It was the fact that they said I targeted people, calling them foolish for looking at their content. I was like, no. I said they're stupid for doing like you know how many people went to the hospital? Oh man, one cat did it live and knocked his whole eye out. Man, come on, man. They was paying crackheads, and then I'm like, y'all promoting people. They paying crackheads to do the crate challenge. So they keep and I never talked to a person. It was just through little whack email. The second time were actually watch related. The next two times. I don't know if it was Rick Ross, but like when Rick Ross came out with that fools, I can't remember the second time. The second time it was watch related. I attacked somebody that called me an idiot for collecting Invicta, and I said you've never once touched an Invicta, and I called him a clown. Right? No, I'm good. I called him a clown, and they said I was bullying, and I was like, so you I said, oh, I said he got a million followers, so you're not gonna say nothing to him. He came on my page talking crap. Okay, and I called TikTok some choice words, but I don't know if it was somebody from Rick Ross' team. The last and final time, when Rick Ross came on and he talked about his protect with the gemstones, and then Nico came out and debunked it like, dude, you a liar. There's only two of those watches in existence, and blah blah blah. And I laughed. I said, man, Rick Ross, you got the hip hop community looking like a fool because you don't know watches, man. This dude is a watch guy. You just a rapper, and it got taken down. They said I was bullying. I was like, man, no freedom of speech. Okay, I guess. People do worse than that on there. Yep. So that was why I got kicked off TikTok. Now, going back to Home Shopping Network, I've been a customer of Shop HQ going back to when they were Ebon. And the one thing that they did best was they gave offerings of if you wanted to watch, you didn't have to pay for it all at once, right? So if the watch was $300, you do your initial payment of I don't know $48 or something like that, and you'll pay that, or $24 and you'll pay that every month for 6 months. Sometimes it was 3 months, just depending on how it went. It was interest free. Interest free. Now, during that time when I was shopping and many other people, we fell into this realm of you have the TV personality, you got comfortable with that person, and whatever they said became law because they described everything that watch was. They talked about all this stuff, and it was great. It was great. But then this thing called YouTube really like once the show goes off, you'll see people doing ratings of some of these watches. And Shop HQ was frowned upon in the YouTube space, but everybody don't see that because once people click off of Shop HQ for the most part, they don't visit YouTube like that because some people's watching it through their through the cable provider. So you have to think if they have millions of people tuning in, there's only a small percentage of those people that are like me that will dig in and go and look. But one of the most beautiful things about Home Shopping Network, it wasn't like Google or Amazon, because on Amazon and Google before Amazon had influencers, you just saw the still picture. You saw the picture of the watch and you saw the description. Then you could do the little 360-degree thing. And if you didn't know some of the technical terms, you just like, okay, you just take the words for it. Like I guess that's important. Shop HQ, Shop NBC, Home Shopping Network, um, they all provide the service of a professional or like a TV personality doing one of these. Like, hey, you have a citizen timepiece right here. It does this, it does that, and then you'll see them model it, and you can base your decision off of how it looks. You know what I'm saying? So now here's a downside to that. I was listening to Sean Wilsey. Sean Wilsey has been in home shopping networks for over 30 years, I believe, or 30 plus years. And he has a podcast, and I was watching this, and this is based off of what he has, because that's a lot of I got a lot of my information off of what was going on with shop from him. I mentioned that in some of my other videos, and this is what I do know. He stated in his podcast that a home shopping network won't necessarily lose business or lose customers because of a TV personality, right? And I don't know. I don't know about that. You know, I mean, I'm pretty sure they can replace some customers, man, but they do lose. They do lose, and that's based off of what I know personally of the people that followed Shop HQ. And you had a character named Justin Zimmer, Jay Z, right? Not the rapper, but once he left, there were a lot of people was like, "Hey, I see it. This is a sinking ship. I'm not about to fool with it. I'm done," and they're out. Um, there were other people too along the lines. You had what was it, Jim Skelton? I think it was Jim Skelton. I don't know much about him. He came before before I even got over there and started really paying attention to watches and stuff like that. But fast forwarding, I know that I have become familiar with a lot of these TV personalities on these home shopping network or on that home shopping network. And I mean, I'm still gonna buy watches regardless. Um, and it's this is where I will agree with Sean Wilsey is if I buy from shop now, it's because they're offering something that I like. We attract large amounts of people and we purchase certain things because they respect the personality. Yeah, and see, they trust it. But like, see, right now, let me put it to you like this: in 2017 through 2021, I was going crazy with the purchasing from shop, and not just watches, but jewelry and other little items and stuff like that. They presented, depending on who, like my favorite personality is. I'm like, okay. It even got to a point where we were literally saying, "Hey, I bought X amount of watches from Ryan Johnson, or I bought X amount of watches from Jay Z," or you know what I'm saying? Like while they were on, if they presented it and I bought it, you're marking off tally. Like, okay, if you are an Invicta collector, and most people that don't know this, most Invicta collectors got over 50 watches. I don't know what the average will be, honestly. It's kind of, I mean, that's hard to tell because you got some collectors that have over 1,000 watches. You have some collectors that have 500, 300. You got some that only got three, right? Some that just started yesterday. They only bought their first watch, and they may buy one watch every 6 or 7 months. So it's kind of hard to say because I don't have the numbers. But the people I know in the groups, and this is coming from Florida, Virginia, Pennsylvania, California, everywhere. Like let's just say 15 to 20 states. I know, gosh, a couple hundred collectors that have well over 200. I'm talking about well over 200 watches in their collection. A lot of it came from Shop HQ and Evine when it was called Evine. But since some of those people left, those people walked away. The other thing too is new stock. Now I put in the thumbnail home shopping versus authorized dealer. I'm gonna show you a watch real quick. This right here is a Glycine Airman. I purchased this from Shop HQ a couple months ago, or yeah, it's been a couple months. And there's one thing I can tell you is I had been looking at this watch for a long time, and they offered a price that it was unbeatable. I was saying, okay, hey, there's no way I can't pass up on this one because you have a Salida base movement in 300 movement in here, and GMT function, right? For under $500. And when I tell you, you can't beat that plus is glycine, right? But when they showcase these watches, depending on who the host is, they used to do such an amazing job, but because I did my own research, I just bought it mainly because of the price. Man, 200 watches is a lot. That guy Timmy, hey Timmy, if you think 200, man, bro, I literally have been on Invicta cruises where there are people that bought about 250 watches on a cruise, right? Just nothing but 50 slot cases, just full of watches, diamond watches, man. So yeah, bro, there's Invicta collectors, Aragon collectors, um, watches those inexpensive collections. Oh yeah, man. There's one collector, and I'm not even gonna say who he is. I know he tunes in. He may be working right now. His collection is not complete. Invicta, and he has probably 900 watches, and it's not all Invicta. He has a few Rolexes. He got a few Boulevard, and he got what was the other one? Omega. He got some stuff that based up upon what's popular on YouTube. He has some watches that will make some of the luxury enthusiasts kind of lick their chops. So yeah, but I do agree. 200 is a lot. That's hard to go to. But what I said about going like, bro, you told me to. You told me to. This live is because of you. You started this, bro. But back to this one. I would have never purchased this one from Shop HQ if it wasn't for the sale. And it wasn't because they told me about it. But like, what about the person that don't know about this watch? And that's the thing. I will say that not trying to pick on Shop, but they changed hosts a lot, and people have to get refamiliarized with some of these people, right? If they even bother. Some people I've actually text people like, "Yo, go over the shop right now. They're showcasing this watch, man. It's the price is right." And they're like, "Oh, okay, cool." And they'll go over there, look at it, and then continue their shopping, right? That that right there, like what they used to be, man, it's a far cry, man, because you're talking about. I used to be in a chat with hundreds of people, man. This chat going by so fast, man, and people interested because you had Ryan Johnson, you had Jay Z, then you had the ladies, you had Kendi and some other ladies out there. They just had it set up perfectly, right? But then there's a difference in the way they present in comparison to an authorized dealer, in comparison to a watch fair, right? There's just a difference. So it was like if I had to interpret it, which I am, Shop HQ was in their own, or home shopping networks in general are in their own realm. And there was a question, Teddy Bulbasaur, he mentioned that he asked this question like, do people still shop online for home shopping? And though their numbers may be in the trash in comparison to what it was before, because they have the same concept since the 80s. Let's go. I'm talking about like Home Shopping Network goes back to like 85 or 86, right? Like, so you're talking about that's like Zares, if Zares was still a thing, or Venture, if anybody knows what those are. Those were the like Zares and Venture were the Walmart of the 80s, and Kmart too. And one thing they failed to do was upgrade, update, get with the times. And I think that's one of the stark differences. So in my thumbnail, which I know you guys can see, um, there is a big difference from what I see. So, for example, I showed you this Citizen, right? This Citizen piece, get out of here. Man, bugs bother me. It's early in the morning. um, this Citizen piece, you won't see this on the home shopping networks, but they do offer some of those. You can find some of these Citizens on there, and you have to wait for those shows. So in the meantime, you got like my man said, he goes over to what did you say? You went to K Jewelers? And 900, he has a store. No, he don't have a store, bro. He does not have a store, and he's still a small collector because you got something that's well over 1,000. For a second, I thought that was a Monta was just about to go up. Man, come on, bro. No, I'm sorry, I didn't do a watch check. This is my Seiko right here. So yeah, bro. And oh my bad, my bad. My bad. Woo, my bad, bro. I don't know what came over me. I got security out here, so anybody that's trying to run up on me, man, I got two well armed guards off to my left and right. Grand Pro Diver with Platinum MOP. That's your wrist check? Okay. I'll be posting mine in the after this live. So here's the deal. Here's the deal. I have been very vocal over the years. Never shop. Except you always thought it was for old people. If you had to choose Seiko or Citizen right now, woo, I'm going Citizen. I'm going Citizen. That's a no brainer. I'm going Citizen. Yeah, and I dig Seiko. I dig Seiko, man. But I can tell you this: for the higher end Seikos that I do like, Citizen is offering some stuff right now, man. Like in a fraction, right? At a fraction, man. So man, Seiko gonna make you pay for those 6 and 8 hour movements, man. Like, bro, when you get into the chronograph portion of it, which I don't necessarily have, I like the way chronograph look. I'm not gonna mess with the pushers or anything like that. But like that Bulova or Boulevard, I'm gonna say Boulevard. I've heard I guess the proper way of saying it is Bulova, but I'm not saying it. It's Boulevard. I've been saying Boulevard my whole life, as long as I've been knowing this brand. This sucker right here, man. Just take a look at that. Look at that. Look at that. That thing is gorgeous. Boy. That thing is gorgeous. Woo! And I will hold up. Let me see. Did y'all hear that? And now look at that. Look at that. Check that out. Look at that sweet boy. God. Dog. Woo, hoo, hoo. Got that little click. Mm. It sweeps back. It don't snap back. It sweep back. That thing, man. Oh, and that's the difference. You know what? Um, this week I will be like we're doing a whole month of automatic watches, right? On Instagram, we posting our watches, and this is mine for today. This week I'm done with the Aragon. This week I'm going to be showcasing watches from that I purchased at an authorized dealer, which brought me to the whole. What's the difference between authorized dealer versus home shopping network? And there's a big difference. There's a disconnect because authorized dealers, like in my opinion, I feel like they connect better with watch enthusiasts. And of course, it's personal, and I think that's possibly maybe a unfair comparison asking that question like, hey, what's better, home shopping network? Because you had this comment in there. Um, I thought home shopping was for old folks. You won't even go over there and you don't know the deals that you could possibly miss out on, or like offering something new. But that's the problem. Like right now, Shop HQ, if you go to Shop HQ right now, right, and if you're still here 24 minutes, or if you made it to 24 minutes, I left a link to 3 places that I shop frequently, right? Um, 2 of them are authorized dealers. One of them is Ashfords, and that's one spot I'm going to say. And yes, I'm very biased on this. The Ashford link is going to take you straight to glycine. You can go find whatever you want in there. I believe they got cologne and some other stuff too, sunglasses and whatnot. But I pick glycine because you're not going to find a better price. And I was hoping that they don't have that new glycine skin diver, and that is a problem that I'm going to say Shop HQ has right now. Is they don't do a glycine showing. to all, and they have the watches there. They have the watches, and I saw if you go and look, their warranty. And I don't have this. I showed this on one of my videos a month ago. Their warranties are going through Ashfords, which leads me to believe that they have a relationship with Ashford. So if you're buying the watches, it's possibly coming from Ashford, and you have to deal with them as far as the warranty is concerned. Because Chop at one point their glycine airmen were like $200 to $300 more than anybody else. I mean, it just worked. But like now, you can see the prices actually came down, or they'll give you a coupon. Thanks, bro. You're making me blush. You're talking about the watches. What? Ah, oh Vic. Citizen on some other level right now. I'm telling you, Citizen is killing the game. As much as I like Seiko, they have quality issues here and there. I've ran into haven't run into any issues with Citizen. I just think Citizen is. So let me ask you guys this. So I got one person in here that you purchased from a store, an actual store. Um, does anybody else? Do you shop? Does anybody in the chat shop at the Home Shopping Network? And if you still here with me or watching on replay, do you shop Home Shopping Networks? Do you trust Home Shopping Networks? Does it even matter to you? Maybe I ought to put that poll up. Maybe I ought to put that poll up. Let's see. You know what? I'll do that next time. Because I know I can set a poll up before the show. I'll do that next on the next live. Matter of fact, we'll do it tomorrow. I'll set that poll up tomorrow because I'm doing tomorrow. Side note, tomorrow I'm going live. I'm going to be doing the giveaway because we have some people that actually gave for the veterans. You know, if you looked at my community page, I'm raising $1,000 for veterans this month. We're off to a good start. We had some people donate, so tomorrow I'll be showing the people that won. Everybody's name will go into um, the little random spin wheel, and we'll have a couple winners tomorrow. And first week, I'm going to be giving away I'll show you guys tomorrow what these people will win. So I have a couple of EDC items. I have a Swiss Army knife authentic, and this the crazy thing is that Swiss Army knife is something that I won for donating for the veterans. You know what I'm saying, shelter and stuff like that. So I'm going to take that same knife I haven't used that still in the pack, and that will be going to somebody tomorrow. We'll find out who our winners are tomorrow. Um, yeah, and I just want to thank everybody that has participated. If you guys shared it out, thank you for doing that. Because all the proceeds, every dime that comes through that cash app will go to veteran assistance, two different companies. And I'll have more information. We'll talk in detail about the companies tomorrow during that live. It'll be tomorrow evening during that live. Let me get into the chat real quick. Hey Trap, I'm at work but listening. Hey, what's going on? If it's yours is in the building, I do not shop at HSN. Always feel this a scheme. Okay, I mean scam. Okay, higher price products from China. I could be wrong. Hello to all in the chat. Also speaking. Honestly, I've never even considered shopping at home, shopping networks for watches. Had no idea. Events, gotta go with your gut, man. Okay, event. Okay, yeah. So I was a 2 years ago. I was an ambassador for Home Shopping Network, and their primary goal was to get new customers. It was a mad dash for new customers, and I can tell you that I personally didn't like. If I had to rate it, which I'm rating it right now, I really didn't like how it went because you had to apply for this position, right? And they asked like certain questions and stuff like that. Now, one of the questions revolved around like what have you done as far as like promotions of something? Have you sold or whatever? They would ask, and sort of like your background. It was a general, like a 6 or 8 questionnaire, whatever. But when I got to that part where it's like, have I promoted or advertised? Oh yeah, I can definitely speak to that because I'm basically in 2018. I was showcasing all of my Invicta pieces, the ones out just got me excited. I talked about the Invicta cruise. My first cruise we went on, uh, we were just learning about it. That second cruise, we brought people with us, and that next cruise, 2020, there was a ton of people that came based on the information I put out. People was like, "Yo, this guy saying there's a such things in Invicta cruise." There's still people to this day that are researching on YouTube. It was like, dude, I never knew Invicta had a cruise, man. That's crazy. But yeah, that's the case. So I do have experience in promoting and showcasing stuff, and there's been a lot of people they testify based off of your testimonies. The only reason you guys have bought certain watches is because I showcased it. I displayed it, and I told you where I got it from. And they were like, "Hey, I went over to the Shop HQ and I got this," or "I went over to Ashfords and I got that," or "I went over to Amazon and link you just dropped, I got that." So I think this is where I say the disconnect is. Um, it's just like you guys in here, with the exception of I'm gonna say 3 of us, maybe 4. And I don't know. I know there's 11 people watching right now. And I don't know how many of you guys have shot, but I think it's like 3 or 4 of us have literally purchased from Shop HQ. But the rest of you guys, like, had no idea. You won't touch it because one, you said you think it's for old folks. The other one was like, it's not an interest. I'll buy my watches elsewhere. And I think this is and I'm not telling these home shopping networks how to do their job. You know what I'm saying? But there is a big disconnect. And just like Venture and these other ones that died off, and from what I'm seeing, going the same direction. I'm a customer. So there's things as a customer that I'm like, ah. So when I go to places like, hold on, seeing that I have them, YouTube actually set this up because of the hype of the so this PRX was on my mind. But then I go to Palmer Jewelers, Kokomo Watch Company, and they walk me around. They show me all what they have, and then we get to talking about this. They talk about the highs and lows, and the beautiful thing about KWC is you can get like a real opinion of what they think about the watch, and you can tell what watches they gravitate to towards other ones they don't. And based on what they were telling me about this watch, they told me all the highs, they told me all the lows, and they left it up to me. It was like, hey, and they went on to show me some other stuff, and I said, hey, because of height, I really I want to get this one. So they was like, all right, cool. Gave me a good deal, and I got the watch. Right. So now I have a relationship with them. Would I go purchase from them again? Absolutely. I got a couple watches from them, which led me over to let me see, hold up. Where did I go from there? That's how I found Trifecta, which again, watches like this. I would have never thought that I would have something like this without them. And he has a different, and every AD is different too, in the way they do things. Some are very welcoming. Some do judge when you walk in. I mean, read the comments. Just read the comments on it. Hold on, Mr. Trust. I'm sleep with. It also leads me to believe it's a scam. They wait when people are bored, have insomnia, or are vulnerable due to less brain activity. Wow. Okay, going back to the bush. Okay, cool, cool, cool. Now that's a great point. That's a great point. I never thought about that. Honestly, I've never considered shopping. Oh, I read that one already. Read that one. But again, Anthony Rose makes a good. He said, "I've never thought about shopping at a network." Um, but just notice that there are watch enthusiasts that know about the home shopping networks, and they frequent this thing all the time. But there's a huge disconnect. And the one thing I can tell you is there's only been with the exception of Teddy. Now Teddy brought a different look to Home Shopping Network. It was a negative spin on Home Shopping Network. Like it didn't. Now it could. Now you know what? Here's I will say this. It could have brought some customers because Teddy's such a large force, and I don't know what those numbers did for Teddy, but he showcased the incompetence of Home Shopping Network because you have representatives there that have no idea sometimes of what they have in front of them. They don't know how to connect the dots with some of the consumers. And then you do have some people that are just set on, like, hey, I think this is a good deal. I don't know the name of this watch, but the way they describe it. Um, I've looked at a number of them. Shop HQ, as far as explaining um, the watches and stuff like that. But the way Teddy showcased the Home Shopping Network, he chewed them up. I mean, he cut them in half. You know what I'm saying? And the only thing I didn't like about that, I'll be honest, man, just being vocal, man, is he didn't put Shop HQ in the actual thing. He just kind of grouped them all together. Um, but he used Kendi, and like Kendi is a good friend of mine, man. It's like you don't want to see your like somebody that you care about being exposed like that. You know what I'm saying? And knowing that Kendi does such a great job what she's doing, it's like, bro, yeah. I mean, but it happens, man. It happens. It took me a while to get over, and I still watch Teddy's content. You know what I'm saying? So I think overall Teddy does a great job. He does a phenomenal job of information giving and giving enthusiasts a place to where they can go out and shop and do their thing. But hold on, let me make sure I didn't miss any comments. Hold on. For me, extremely hard to buy something I can't see in person to try on my wrist. That and see, okay, all right, let's talk about that. That's why I'd rather go in a jewelry store. Plus, you can negotiate the prices. Thelonious, what's going on? You can, bro. My first experience, I'm gonna show you where is it at? Where are you? I did not bring it. My first Hamilton, and I'm gonna be honest with you, this is a couple years back, or yeah, almost 2 years ago. My first experience with buying something from a uh, AD, I didn't know. I was like, hey, what's the price? And I felt like I can't negotiate this. You know what I'm saying? I was like, that's a bit much. So I put the watch in layaway and I paid full price. And then I learned about KWC Palmer's, and then later on Trifecta, and went to a couple other ones. And you don't see it. I didn't see it online. Nobody that I was watching had say, hey, you can go and negotiate these prices. And if they have, I just didn't see that video. So it wasn't until what was it? Oh, KWC. I mean, because they're authorized to sell certain watches and a number of watches. And when they were like, okay, this is the price, but we can give it, you know what I'm saying? We can give you a good deal. I said, you can give me a good deal. Okay, what's the deal? The 10%. Because I'm used to now, granted, um, there's some jewelry stores that, they have their discounts and stuff, but their jewelry stores that sell watches are different than authorized dealers in a sense, especially because it comes down to the brand. Because some brands, if they do offer discount, it's not huge, maybe 5%, right? Or 10%, maybe. So with that being said, when I went to KWC, I see that I get a discount, right? And then Trifecta, and then he gives me this discount. What's up, House of X? Welcome in. And it's like, okay, this is different. Okay, I wasn't expecting that. So I go back to where I got my Hamilton, and at this point, they don't sell Hamilton anymore. Hamilton pulled out and went somewhere else, and they acquired another one. They end up getting Longines. But I'm sitting there, I'm looking at a particular watch, and this is how I bought a Seiko Bruce Lee. And I said, hey, bro, what's the lowest that you will go on this watch? The absolute lowest, without going back and forth. Goes up front, gives me a decent discount. and I bought the watch. I said, all right, cool. So, and if you don't know that, if you go to an authorized dealer and you're buying a watch that's like, even if you're about to spend your first $4,000 on a watch, ask what's the lowest price or shop around. But I agree with you on that one. For me, I have to see the watch and put it in hand. You have to, because I learned about this watch right here, this Squale. I learned about this watch from TGB, the Urban Gentry. And he talked about it so much, and I went back and looked at some other stuff, and I researched a bunch of channels that talked about this watch. And then I said, wait a minute, I know a Soiree dealer, so I went over there and I looked at it for myself. I put it on, looked at it, I looked at the loom, and I just put it on just to like, can I see myself in it? Because when I first saw it, I was like, I liked it on like watching it on YouTube. But when I saw it in person, I was like, yo, this is crazy. There's a connection. There's a connection. So my AD, my man Barry, fixed me up over there at Maury Jewelers and gave me a discount off of this watch. He gave me a pretty nice discount off of that watch for my first, no, my second purchase from Moyer Jewelers. But that's just the thing. That's just the thing. Now I've seen some of you guys say that you buy from Amazon, which I do too. Is JTV going to sell Invicta? What up, Trap? No, I didn't see. I think they sell to Sew over there. They have a couple of name brands. But here's the deal: because I support Kendi, I didn't. And I was going to say earlier, I didn't even know there was a such thing as JTV. And they're old company. I think they celebrated 30 plus years of business. I'm like, yo, that's amazing. Go back the other way. Go back the other way. I know y'all. Can y'all hear that siren? Go back the other way. Of course, he coming this way. It's about to get loud, John. Mm, mm, mm. Anyway, are y'all speaking? Give me a second, because that the thing is, man, for me, when I wear the earpieces, when them sirens hit, man, that thing is just echoes through my ear. It's crazy. Intensified. All right, we 42 minutes in here. We're actually, hey, is you have an X or is you have an X or no? Oh man. Bro, do you think shop will ever give? Um, let me say this. Let me say this, Vic, to answer your question, and for anybody that shop. So because I mentioned this, this may bring one or two people to Shop HQ to see what they have to offer. I will say if they bring a inexpensive popular brand, bring new watches to the table, do something different than what's the norm. I believe they can actually start. They can, and this is why I say this. Shop HQ and Home Shopping Networks have this connotation of, or this whole vibe of being a channel for old people. It is that ain't. I don't think it'll take a while for that to go away, if it'll ever go away. But the way they did with Bulldog, the way they did with having Power Play, if they brought those entities back, or if they incorporated that into their everyday, because right now shop is just showing the same stuff over and over again. You know what I'm saying? They're not showing anything new. They're not mixing in glycine. They're not involving the customer. They're not showing people on vacations with their stuff. And what does that matter? It does, because you guys are promoting. At one point, you were promoting the lifestyle portion of watch collecting, right? Like Shop HQ can't go on record. Does go on record of creating an atmosphere for enthusiasts, right? You're turning these older people, right, the old folks, if you will, that were just buying watches and just like sitting back and reading a paper or whatever they doing, going to play golf and stuff like that. Now they want to be a part of it of a community because people started making Facebook pages off of that. So there's a relationship between your AD and YouTubers. It is because think about it. I can go right now on YouTube and find out about this watch. I talked about the watch. Right now, you can go on YouTube and find out about this watch. And if there's a spot that you can go to, like a home shopping network, and you have a list of people that's buying, but then you see it in other places because Shop HQ is not talked about. Home shopping networks aren't talked about in that space. They start getting watches that identify with those people. Like, and I'm not talking about your box store brands because right now, shoot, Shop don't even have the Ciosa on there. Ciosa, however you pronounce it. They don't have that on there. And if they do, if they have it and haven't showcased it yet, they're not promoting it. They're not bringing it to life. They're not showing why you need this watch in your life. Like we need another watch. So for right now, I'm gonna say no, bro. I'm gonna say no. But again, if they brought a watch that was worth or a few watches, shoot, if they dabbled in some micro brands, that right there, man, that'll raise your eyebrow. You be like, hey, wait a minute, I just saw a particular brand like Fletterman Company. Be like, man, Fletterman, ain't that the guy? Ain't that the watch that Travel's talking about? They on Shop HQ, man. That's crazy. And it gives an opportunity too, for those people. I'll take it back. Yeah, Vic, I believe they can if they did something like that. Because imagine this. Imagine um some of the watches we look at, you like, man, I can't afford a $10,000 watch, and you don't want to put it on a credit card, right? But you can value pay this watch for, let's say, $50 a month, and you think to yourself, I can afford one watch at $50 a month. And you know where that goes from there. We go from $50 a month to $78 a month. That's because you saw something else. You're like, ooh, wait a minute. I can stretch this out over 6 months. I can do that. You know what I'm saying? You start thinking about that. And they didn't match, bro. They fell off, man. I don't know. I don't know. They just got, I don't know. It seemed like they got complacent. So if they want to bring that craze back or that family vibe back, they're going to have to bring some new stuff out. I mean, what's talked about right now, Vic? Think about it. In shop, they were selling pre-owned Rolexes and what else did they have? They had some high-end watches, man. They were selling high-end stuff before. You never knew about it. You never knew. Like they never showcased it, man. It's like, why? Like, what's the point? You know what I'm saying? What's the point of having this stuff in your inventory and you don't show it? So yeah, they dropped the ball, bro, and that goes for any of them because I've watched a couple of they shows and like they talk about the watches. They really don't go in depth like that with watches, man. And the watches that they do have, you got people out here that's collecting Hamilton, Dassault, Citizen, Longines, and stuff like that. And then you got Aragon and watches in that vein. Christopher Ward. And I wouldn't ever foresee Christopher Ward going that route with Home Shopping Network associated with it. I don't think, based on how they work, that wouldn't even make sense. But I think that will bring some excitement if they thought about working with some of these independent brands that are willing to do a home shopping network. So I'm gonna leave it at that. Shop lost all their top people. It's pronounced Soyosa. All right. I need all. Hey, Anthony, let me tell you something, bro. Um, I'm gonna just say this. So I got the PRX, right? I want to say 2 to 3 months after I got that, I saw a post that said Ciosa is the PRX killer. I went to go see this watch over at Trifecta, and I brought this with me. I wore this watch, and I compared both of them, and I was like, nah, man. Citizen out here bulldogging people, man. They big boying people, man. They was like, hey, bro, scooch out the way for a second, man. Let me get my turn in there. It's like when it came to the bracelet, I was like, ooh, that thing's sick. So they brought out the small seconds version. I said, now that's sick. This is one. I will say this. I don't want to collect like I did with Invicta again. Where and what I mean by that is I had like 40 pro divers, different variations of the pro diver, right? Not anymore. I got a few pro divers, but I just said I do not want to collect the same watch, just a different color variation. This is one that if I was to do it, I would do it wholeheartedly and I wouldn't care. Because every colorway that they got in these Theosis, man, is oh my god. Are you kidding me? The small seconds, man, the green one, man, like they so clean, bro, man. And then like the price makes it even more attractive because you're like, yo, what other companies are charging? And this is Citizen we're talking about. This isn't a quartz movement. And I know some people like, hey, quartz versus automatic is soulless, right? Some of you guys have said that. I've said them lying. I mean, but don't get me wrong, because this quartz right here, and then you know what I'm saying, these two, that one right there, solar or eco drive rather. I guess I could say solar because this is powered by light. And then that Boulevard quartz, anything that they put out in the precisionist line, I think the precision engine is one of the top ranking quartz pieces out there. That's in my humble opinion. But man, I would collect every colorway of that Ciosa, man. Every colorway. No question. Joma shot for 200. You can't beat that. You can't beat it, man. Aragon Cruz. Come on. Ooh. Io Silver. Uh a Captain Photon. I'm gonna put it to you like this, bro. I don't think you off with that. I don't think you off with that. I'm gonna just say this, man. Vic, if you still listening, Aragon goes to that platform, over with. You know how many people mess with Aragon, bro? Bruh, I'm telling you now, that right there, hands down, mm, that'll definitely get some people on board. But Joma Shop though too, Anthony. The only bad side or downside to Joma Shop is you have to know a little bit about the watch or something about the watch. Well, I guess you really don't have to, but like it's better to know about the watch um, and go over there and buy it. Now you lose like the warranty. I've seen a couple of videos. I haven't had to use the warranty. I had one watch that I bought that was trash when I got it. It was trashed. It wasn't a trash watch. It was trash because uh, it was damaged, and they took care of it immediately. I mean, they took care of it. That was like their return policy, man. It was I was cool on it. You know what I'm saying? Now, I didn't take any of the stickers and stuff off either. So I know you don't want to do that. So, because like I test watches before I get to peeling stuff off. I just and I couldn't get the crown undone, unwound. So that was a good thing. But that's the only downside to buying from Amazon and stuff. If you don't know about watches and you want to do some research, but that's the advantage of a home shopping network is you still don't have it in hand, but you get to see it being handled. You get to see it being worn and stuff like that. They do close-ups and it's under great light where you can see clearly. And if they do a good job at, I mean, halfway, all they need to do is a halfway decent job at explaining the watch. That'll definitely get you like, okay. And then the thing of if you see a $500 to $600 price tag on it, but they got a payment option that is not based on your credit, but just a it's really, if you look at it, it's the relationship you have with that company. If you buy and you pay on time with your 6 months or 5 months or however long, then you can keep doing that. The moment you abuse it, they put you on like they give you a warning. You abuse it again, they put you on a probation period where you can't use the value pay. You have to pay everything outright. So, but yeah, yeah, I know. I want to buy a Tudor Oil 38, but I'm afraid for bracelet. From Joma. And that's it. That she, I watched too much YouTube, man. I saw somebody that bought a Tudor from Joma shop, and it wasn't the same. It was scratched up or something like that. Um, it wasn't the same watch that they showcased on the website. So that's the one negative. Like I said, man, it'd be nice for Joma shop to adopt that Amazon approach if they allowed. Well, I know they got Jody, but Jody only do like because he'll show you what watches. I don't know. You know what? I don't think I've seen Jody showcase anything from Joma shop in a while. He's been doing some other stuff, but yeah, they don't have a lot of influencers or even well, I guess they would be considered influencer even if you're just a customer and they say, hey, can you just send a video of what you got? You know what I'm saying? Ciosa for $200, that's crazy because I paid three for mine. I don't regret it though. I don't regret it. I think it's a great purchase for automatic watch. Miyota Movement 8000 series that's hackable. So anyway, y'all, we've been on for just under an hour. We're gonna get up out of here, man. And appreciate you guys. Hope to see you guys tomorrow evening. I'll post that later on today. So enjoy the rest of your sorry about that. Had to interrupt. Y'all be blessed.